Hey, 49ers fans, we've got a lot to unpack today. And if you're keeping an eye on the NFL, you already know the season is moving fast and every decision counts. Let's dive into some moves around the league. They're shaking things up and how they ripple over to the San Francisco 49ers. One of the biggest stories right now is Joe Flacco heading to the Cincinnati Bengals. Yes, the veteran quarterback who started the season for the Cleveland Browns is now in a new uniform. And this isn't just a simple roster tweak. It's a move that changes the strategy landscape for a few teams in the NFC and AFC. The Bengals, dealing with Joe Burrow being out until December due to a serious turf toe surgery, needed someone to step in and stabilize the quarterback position. Jake Browning, their backup, stepped up, but the results were rough, to say the least. Over 3 games, the offense looked inconsistent, to put kindly. Flacco comes in with experience and a steady hand, the kind of presence a team clinging to playoff hopes desperately needs. Meanwhile, the Browns are fully committed to giving their young quarterbacks, Dylan Gabriel and Shader Sanders, meaningful reps and time to develop. Flacco was always the placeholder, and now that mission is complete. For the 49ers, this indirectly affects plans for the defensive front. There's been speculation about potential trades for pass rushers, like Trey Hendrickson or even Max Crosby. With the Bengals making moves to shore up their quarterback situation, the timing for the Niners to make a similar splash could be delayed. But the need is urgent. Nick Bosa's season-ending injury has left a massive void in San Francisco's pass rush, and the production without him tells the story in stark numbers. In the games without Bosa, the 49ers registered just 1 sack and 1 quarterback hit across 2 full contests. That's not nearly enough pressure to win consistently in the NFL, and it shows just how pivotal Bosa has been not just as a player, but as a defensive engine for this team. To give perspective, in Week 1 against Seattle, the 49ers recorded 10 pressures, a sack, and a couple of hits. Week 2, they had 22 pressures, 3 sacks, and 2 hits. Week 3, 22 pressures again, 1 sack, and 3 hits. Then Bosa goes down, and suddenly the numbers plummet. Even against the Rams, while there was a slight uptick with 16 pressures, it's clear the defense is struggling to create disruption without their star edge rusher. Bosa isn't just a dominant athlete, he's a game changer. Plays that seemed routine with him on the field, forcing fumbles, pressuring quarterbacks, and making critical tackles, are harder to come by now, and it leaves the team searching for someone who can fill even a fraction of his impact. This is why trade speculation is heating up. Max Crosby, for instance, could be a perfect fit. He's in his prime, an elite pass rusher, and thrives in a system that allows him to use his athleticism and instincts to full effect. Crosby's current team, the Las Vegas Raiders, has struggled to find consistency, and his talent has not translated into the success he deserves. Bringing a player like him into San Francisco's defensive scheme could be transformative. The 49ers have shown interest in top-tier pass rushers before, gauging the cost for players like Crosby, Trey Hendrickson, and even Myles Garrett. These aren't cheap moves. They would require significant investment in draft capital or other assets. But the payoff could be immediate, especially with a season already in motion and the team trying to solidify its playoff chances. Meanwhile, on the roster front, the 49ers have been proactive in exploring talent in-house. Workouts at the SAP Performance Facility have featured several players, some familiar from previous stints with the team. Names like John Joyner, who previously played for the Raiders, Michael Dwummer, Jonathan Garvin, Bruce Hector, and Shaquille Brown have been in the mix. Each brings different strengths and experience to the table, and the coaching staff is clearly evaluating how they can contribute in the immediate term. Roster moves, such as releasing defensive back Jalen Mahoney from the practice squad, show the constant flux and adjustment needed to keep the team competitive. These decisions are about maintaining depth, flexibility, and ensuring that when opportunities arise, the team has players ready to step in and perform. On the offensive side, or at least in special teams, the 49ers made a move that has arguably saved their season so far. Releasing Jake Moody and signing Eddie Pinheiro might have seemed minor at the time, but his accuracy and clutch kicking have had an outsized impact. Pinero's field goals in tight games against the Saints, Arizona, and the Rams have not only provided points, but shifted momentum in crucial moments. It's one thing to talk about offensive lines, quarterbacks, and running backs, but in a league where games can come down to a single possession, having a reliable kicker is often the difference between a win and a loss. Pinero's consistency, from short-range attempts to long-distance kicks, gives the 49ers confidence to play aggressively, knowing that scoring opportunities are secure when it counts. All of this paints a picture of a team adapting on the fly, reacting to injuries, league-wide trades, and roster opportunities. The 49ers' strategy is evolving, balancing long-term development with immediate competitiveness. Every move, from evaluating potential trade for defensive stars to fine-tuning the practice squad and solidifying special teams, is interconnected. The ripple effects of a move in the AFC, like Flacco going to Cincinnati, may seem distant, but they influence timing, negotiations, and the urgency with which San Francisco must act. The coaching staff and front office are navigating a complex landscape, trying to maintain a championship-caliber roster while addressing immediate needs, and the fans can see the careful orchestration behind each decision. This period also highlights just how critical situational awareness is in the NFL. Teams that react quickly to changes, that identify gaps and opportunities, and that execute trades or roster moves decisively often gain an advantage that goes beyond talent alone. For the 49ers, leveraging the moment to acquire a top-tier pass rusher, integrating new talent from workouts, and relying on clutch performers like Pinero could very well define their trajectory this season. Every snap, every roster evaluation, every in-game adjustment matters more than ever, and San Francisco is showing a willingness to adapt dynamically to the evolving challenges of the season. Looking ahead, the urgency to strengthen the pass rush for the 49ers has never been clearer. Without Nick Bosa, the defensive front has had to carry a weight that's normally shared among elite players, and the production gap is evident. Week after week, the absence of consistent pressure has allowed opposing quarterbacks more time in the pocket, forcing San Francisco to rely on scheme adjustments and secondary support to make up for lost impact at the line of scrimmage. This isn't a knock on the defensive backs. They've been playing hard, but without a dominant edge rusher, even the best coverage can eventually crack. That's why the team's front office is exploring every avenue, from trades to practice squad promotions, to get someone who can create chaos and demand attention from offensive lines. Max Crosby has emerged as a tantalizing option. In his prime, he possesses the speed, power, and technique that fits seamlessly into a wide-nine defensive scheme. The way he sets up blockers, reads offensive line cues, and gets into the quarterback's lane is exactly what the 49ers need right now. And while a move like this would come at a premium, the payoff could be immediate. Not only would it improve overall defensive efficiency, but it would also relieve pressure on secondary players who have been forced to compensate for a lack of consistent frontline disruption. With Crosby or a comparable talent, the 49ers could reestablish a pass rush identity, something that is as psychologically intimidating for opponents as it is strategically advantageous. At the same time, the timing of trades across the league complicates San Francisco's options. Teams like Cincinnati making moves to stabilize their quarterbacks indirectly affect when and how the Niners can approach other trades. If the Bengals can remain competitive with Flacco temporarily, it delays potential roster shifts that might otherwise open up high-caliber defensive ends for trade. The NFL calendar and trade deadlines create a finite window for maneuvering, which is why every workout, evaluation, and internal assessment by the 49ers is crucial. Scouting reports, player metrics, and past performance data are all being weighed to ensure that any mid-season acquisition fits the team not just on paper, but in real-game scenarios. Practice squad evaluations have become a critical piece of this puzzle. Players like John Joyner, Michael Dwummer, and Jonathan Garvin aren't just filling spots. They're being analyzed for versatility, adaptability, and readiness. The coaching staff needs athletes who can step into a high-pressure environment and immediately contribute. Even small improvements at key positions can shift the balance in close games. Every pass deflection, Every tackle for loss, every forced incompletion adds to a margin that often decides divisional standings. The Niners' willingness to continually rotate players through workouts and practice squad assessments demonstrates a commitment to dynamic roster management, and it's a level of diligence that can make the difference between a playoff berth and an early exit. Meanwhile, the kicker situation with Eddie Pinheiro continues to be a stabilizing force. His precision under pressure allows the team to operate with confidence, especially in close games where a single field goal can dictate momentum. Pinheiro's consistency is more than just statistical. It sets a tone for the team, signaling reliability and composure in high-stakes situations. When a team knows they have near-perfect execution in scoring opportunities, it allows the offensive coordinators to plan aggressively, knowing that field position and scoring chances are under control. His performance exemplifies how every role on the roster, no matter how specialized, contributes to the larger success of a team. As the season progresses, matchups are coming into sharper focus. The 49ers face a stretch where defensive resilience will be critical. Opponents with mobile quarterbacks or strong offensive lines will test the defensive scheme more than ever, and the team's ability to pressure the pocket will be under scrutiny. Every sack, every hurried throw, and every disruption in timing becomes magnified in a tightly contested NFC. The coaching staff is aware that without addressing the pass rush gap, opponents can exploit mismatches, forcing the secondary into high-stress situations. By contrast, a reinforced front could allow the Niners to return to a balanced defensive approach, where coverage schemes and pass rush work in concert rather than relying on one to compensate for the other. Off the field, roster flexibility remains a theme. The front office is managing cap space, draft considerations, and potential future trades simultaneously. They are weighing whether to act now to acquire a top-tier pass rusher or to wait and see how internal talent develops. It's a delicate balance, because acting too late could mean missing out on elite talent, but acting too quickly could compromise future roster construction. The decisions made in the next few weeks will reverberate well beyond the immediate season, influencing draft strategy, free agency planning, and long-term competitiveness. Internal development also plays a critical role in the Niners' strategy. Young players and mid-tier contributors are being prepared to step into larger roles, which is essential when injuries strike or high-value trades are executed. This is more than just filling gaps. It's about cultivating depth and readiness, ensuring that each player can perform at a high level when called upon. Every practice rep is a test of preparedness. Every internal scrimmage a simulation of the intensity that comes on game day. The Niners are emphasizing not just talent acquisition, but talent maximization, understanding that the depth of their roster could determine the outcome of pivotal games in the NFC standings. With all of these moving pieces, the trade possibilities, practice squad evaluations, internal development, and clutch special teams performances, the San Francisco 49ers are navigating a complex and high-stakes environment. Each decision, from targeting elite pass rushers like Max Crosby to managing young quarterback talent and leveraging depth across the roster, contributes to a larger strategy designed to maximize the team's competitiveness in the present while safeguarding future opportunities. The pressure is real, the stakes are high, and the coaching staff, along with the front office, is making sure that no opportunity is left unexplored. But before we dive in, don't forget to subscribe to 49ers Zone and hit the like button on this video. Your support helps us keep bringing you the latest updates on the San Francisco 49ers. And don't forget to share your thoughts on the news in the comments below. San Francisco. The rumor mill is heating up in the Bay Area, and the whispers are impossible to ignore. T. Higgins, the talented wide receiver formerly of the Cincinnati Bengals, is reportedly stepping into the role of WR1 for the San Francisco 49ers. While nothing has been officially confirmed, sources close to the team suggest that the front office has been quietly charting a bold new direction for the passing game. Higgins, known for his size, speed, and sure-handed catches, could be exactly the weapon the 49ers have been craving to pair with their dynamic offense. Insiders say that the move is part of a larger strategy to rejuvenate a receiving core that has struggled with consistency over the past seasons. Higgins, who has developed a reputation for his crisp route running and ability to create separation in tight windows, would bring instant credibility to the Niners' aerial attack. Fans and analysts alike are buzzing about how Higgins' presence could impact the team's offensive schemes, especially in the red zone where his height and catch radius could prove invaluable. There's also talk that Higgins' arrival could shift the dynamics within the locker room. Veteran receivers may have to adjust, while younger talents could benefit from the mentorship and competition he brings. The team's offensive coordinator, known for his creativity, reportedly sees Higgins as a potential focal point around which to design plays that maximize his unique skill set. Whether it's deep routes, stretching defenses, or quick, precise patterns in the short game, the buzz is that Higgins could become the true centerpiece of the 49ers' passing strategy. While the rumor has yet to reach official channels, the excitement is palpable. Social media is already lighting up with speculation, mock formations, and dream highlight reels. If this all comes to fruition, the Bay Area could be on the verge of witnessing a new era in its passing game, one defined by big plays, contested catches, and a fresh weapon in T. Higgins. For now, fans can only speculate, but the possibility of Higgins donning the scarlet and gold as WR1 has everyone talking and imagining just how explosive this offense could become. That's it for this update. If you enjoyed the video and want to keep receiving exclusive news about the San Francisco 49ers, make sure to subscribe to 49ers Zone and give this video a like. We always look forward to hearing your comments and opinions. See you in the next video.